We're going to tell you exactly what that Thanksgiving dinner is going to cost this year. Plus, USDA has got some new programs out for specialty crop producers and much more on today's episode of the Arkansas AgCast, which starts right now.
You're listening to the Arkansas AgCast, where we discuss the latest news, trends, and issues impacting Arkansas farmers and ranchers. Our show is brought to you by the Arkansas Farm Bureau Federation and hosted by Jason Brown and John Nickman.
Happy Thursday, everybody.
Hello.
We're caught up in our own little conversation over here. How's everybody doing?
Good. We're on a 2-week streak of the podcast.
Yeah, we are. Pretty good.
Yeah.
We are not going to be on next week. That's a good note. We're not going to be on next week, and then the week after that, bada bing, bada boom, fresh from the trade show floor at the 89th annual convention for the Arkansas Farm Bureau.
We're keynote speakers for the trade show.
Yeah, they've got us kind of just there all day, just doing the podcast. Actually, we've got a bone to pick with Jeff McClure, who said, "Sorry, boys, you're not going to be on the stage this year," and I think that's a problem.
I thought we got that turned around.
We did not. We were in the Farm Bureau booth.
So Jeff, what's up, man?
Actually, let's go about this a different way. If you are a regular listener or viewer of this podcast, you should express your extreme displeasure with Jeff McClure for taking us off the stage.
Leave a review. Or email one of us.
We'll let him know. Hey, these guys deserve the big time.
I think Jeff's a listener, too. So
we've reached a new level of hazing here. So
yeah.
I know. I'm just kidding. You know what? We're happy to be there.
I think the people want to see us, so. Not in the corner, not on the back wall.
He put baby in the corner. I'll say that. But we're going to be there. We're going to give it a go. We're going to have a good show.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe we'll finally earn our way there.
You just got to try a little harder, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I tell you what, it's hard to talk to anybody around here. Speaking of annual convention.
Yeah.
Everybody has on a one-track, has got a one-track mind right now, and
Indeed.
It's all convention.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. Don't walk into somebody's office and ask about a different project.
Yeah.
Especially
I've heard you experience that.
Don't need
a
it
couple
today.
times.
Yeah. Avoid that whole thing.
It's fun. We're gonna have some fun stuff this year, man. We've been working on a couple of TV opportunities where we're gonna go on and preview some things about convention. I know for sure that one of the big things, and we've talked about it here a little bit, we're going to talk about it here in a few, but we're opening the trade show up to the public for the first time.
Yeah,
ever.
come one, come all.
And so that's fun. You've got a big hand in that.
Yeah,
the farmers market.
We got the farmers market coming, so we're trying to make sure they've got as many customers as they can possibly generate. We want them to be able to enjoy the convention and want to come back. Because this isn't the only time I want to do this. I want to do this every year.
Yeah, exactly. Furthermore, we're going to have that Ag Mechanics show, the first one there. There's been a few of these around the state. I was talking to somebody yesterday. Been a few of these around the state. This is the first one we're doing.
Yeah, I think so.
And right out of the gate, first one we're doing will now be the largest in the state. There's 90 participants going to be a part of this thing.
That'd be huge.
Yeah. Frankly, I'm not sure how we're going to have room for everybody, but that's that's not my department. So I don't know. I'm sure the experts will have that figured out. But if you're unfamiliar, when we say Ag Mechanics Show, my mind sort of goes to the guys that work on the equipment and do things like that. This is actually a little bit different. For those a little bit more old school like me, we think about that shop class in high school. Yeah. And this sort of ties into that. So folks who are building, crafting, creating things with their hands when they're in high school, specifically FFA and 4-H students who have built these projects. We saw them displayed at the state fair. If you saw our takeover with THV out there, you saw the grand champion project this year was a sheep trailer.
Yes, it was.
I mean, it was high quality, very cool looking. But these students have built everything from fire pits to grills, smokers, memorial for fallen soldiers. I've seen indoor furniture, outdoor furniture. I mean, just really an array of things that can be crafted or welded, and they build these things from the ground up, from the blueprints up.
Yeah, I'm on the lookout for a trailer, so if any of y'all are in this competition, that might be a good idea.
One of the things I heard is that everything like that they build has to be OSHA, Highway Transportation Department compliant, all that stuff. So it's ready to be purchased and walked out the door. So there's going to be 90 exhibitors, I believe, in that portion of the show, okay?
Wow.
And then 40, I believe, of those projects are going to be available for sale via online auction. So there'll be QR codes up around the trade show. You can scan that, get involved in the auction, and buy some of that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you've got 90 exhibitors there. We've got another 59 or 60 just in the trade show, and then y'all are knocking on the door of 30.
Yeah, getting close to 30.
So we're at 150 or so different, stops.
It should be busy.
Or things to see. I'm telling you, it just sounds busy.
And plus, we got the workshops. I mean, there's a lot of activities or just things you can be a part of or watch or, hey, buy your Christmas presents there,
Exactly. We announced the keynote speaker this week, Jason Brown, former NFL star, turned farmer, and he's got a great story to tell. He's raised and given away and sold more than 1 million pounds of vegetables.
No kidding.
So specialty crops guy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So really a cool story there. The highest paid center in the NFL just one day said, you know what? I don't think my life is fulfilling.
Yeah.
Doing this career. Walked away, started farming, didn't know a thing about farming. And here we are today. He's still doing it.
Probably pretty good for his health.
He's got a missionary. Yeah, exactly. He's got a mission organization and program going on in addition to the farm. So anyway, you'll see and hear some preview stuff from him as we lead up to a convention next week. In 2 weeks. So I don't need to rush that. So be on the lookout for that. Also, as we promised today, we are going to cover that Thanksgiving dinner survey data from American Farm Bureau. And next week, you'll be able to hear an AgCast deep dive from our own Tyler Oxner, who's authored an Ag Insider on the cost of Thanksgiving dinner here in Arkansas.
Yeah, working with the Women's Committee. Their survey.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we're excited to have that. A couple of other things we wanted to mention before we get into the news today. The University of Arkansas Division of Agriculture has a new podcast out. Hey, look, the World of Agriculture podcast in Arkansas is a pretty small one.
Hey, this weekend while I was in Fayetteville, I had somebody come up to me and said, hey, I've seen y'all's podcast.
Are you serious?
I was like, really? He's like, yeah, you know what? There's not enough content out there for ag news, like in that kind of genre.
In that space.
And he was just kind of told us, great, awesome, good job. Thanks you're out there.
Nice. I love that. There are only 2 journalists that I'm aware of who are exclusively dedicated to agriculture in the entire state of Arkansas. And our number one industry, as y'all well know, is agriculture. So that's great to hear. Good to hear that they were like, golly, you're a lot better looking in person, aren't you?
Yeah.
I know it. I know that's what they said.
Probably.
The USDA has released a new monthly podcast that is focused on the poultry industry. Get this name. I love this name. The Fowl Frontier, Poultry Science Unplugged.
How about that?
Yeah, I thought this was kind of fun. The graphics on this thing are great, too. I should have brought that in to show y'all. It's great. The podcast launched November 8th.
Yeah.
It's hosted by Zach Williams with the USDA. And I think the plan, from what I read, is to address issues that are relevant to poultry producers and professionals who work in allied industries. The first episode, which, like I said, came out, was released November 8th, focused on avian influenza and biosecurity measures within the poultry industry. So if you have a second, if you're a poultry producer, go and check that out. I've not had the chance to listen. Just give it a little preview, and sounds pretty good so far.
I mean, speaking of not having a whole lot of content out there, poultry in general probably needs more of that.
Yeah.
So this is a pretty good deal, I think.
Yeah, we're number 3 in poultry production in the country, so it would be great to have more of that. So more power to you guys. Go give them a listen. The Fowl Frontier Poultry Science Unplugged. Also, we've got winter production meetings. We talked to you a little bit about this last week. Just wanted to give you a quick reminder. U of A Extension Services released its winter production meeting schedule. The first one's going to be on January 10th in Poinsett County. Those meetings are going to run all the way through March 9th and wrap up in Craighead County. As we said last week, I think that proximity is unrelated.
Yeah,
just the way it falls there. These meetings cover rice, soybeans, corn, cotton, and peanuts. If you know what we're talking about, then you know what they cover. You know how valuable they are. If you are interested, you can go to uada.edu to see the full schedule, or just simply call your county extension office, and they'll let you know when the next meeting is scheduled in your neck of the woods.
Yeah. Those are pretty important meetings, like you said, man. I think a lot of people attend those, especially on the row crop side of things, because you're going into planting season, and you're probably finishing up some of your planning for the season.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure they'll get into costs, input costs. You'll get to find out a little bit of the lessons learned from this growing season that we're wrapping up now, but also look at some forecasting and some thoughts on the year as it. As you, like you said, as you're getting into planting season and getting into a new growing season. So check those out. And then just a quick note, I saw this come across my sort of radar. And so we're not going to do a whole story on it, but I just thought I'd make note of this. We generally do a Christmas tree farm story at some point, we being the PR team that farm here at Farm Bureau every year. I don't know if we'll do that this year, but I wanted to let you know, it is as y'all know, it's the season for tree shopping. Hopefully you don't have your tree up just yet.
No, but this usually is about the time Mary Louise really wants to put it up.
Yeah. There's some Christmas lights and decorations popping up in our neighborhood. You can see a couple Christmas trees through living room windows.
Do you leave,
anybody out by you?
There's a few.
Yeah.
It's very sparse at the moment, though.
Are those the lights that stay up year round, though?
No, I don't think so. If they are, they've had them off. I don't know. But since it is tree shopping season, KTV had a news story here in Little Rock, reported that there's an apparent Christmas tree shortage in the U.S. right now.
Okay.
And really the point of their story was Arkansas is not being impacted by that. We still have a strong Christmas tree industry in the state with plenty of live trees and farms local to purchase those trees. So if you hear of anything like that, have no fear. You should be covered. I know there's some great Christmas tree farms. A lot of them offer sort of getting back into your court here, agritourism type opportunities as well.
There's a big Arkansas Christmas Tree Association that meets here once a year in our building. There's several people. I bet there's at least 40 people in that room every year.
Goodness gracious, I didn't know that.
So,
well, there you go. We are going to talk about Thanksgiving dinner, like I said, but we can't move on to the news without having a little bit of fun. So, I have a question for both of you.
Shoot.
First of all, I've been covered up with Die Hard information and previews. I don't know. They say our phones listen to us, and I don't know if that's a result of last week.
Indeed.
Or what, but
yes.
I did go back and give that a listen a little bit, and had a good laugh at our conversation last week. No hate mail, as far as I'm aware. But all right. So Thanksgiving is upon us. This is the last show that we will do before Thanksgiving.
Yes.
A week from the time this show airs on Thursday, we're all going to be around the dinner table.
That's correct.
And just slightly before we're all napping.
Yeah,
I bet.
Yeah. I'll be a little lighter in weight right before I eat. A lot heavier right after.
So I thought I'd ask you guys, and I don't mean to put you in a box, so feel free to, tell me you're going to go a different direction here. But imagine, and, we're going to ask this question of Tyler, too, when we do his deep dive.
Okay.
Imagine you've got your Thanksgiving plate. It's split into thirds. And I'd like for you to build that plate with me. What's your protein, your animal protein? What's your side dish? And what is your dessert on that plate?
Go for it.
Hey, you're making me go first. Okay.
Yeah, if you're unless you're scared, I can go ahead and do it.
I'm not scared.
Okay, all right.
Are you ready?
I was thinking what we generally would have because we kind of mix it up some, but turkey would definitely be the protein.
Yeah.
Let's see, side would probably be dressing, more than likely.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy. Either that or the sweet potato casserole.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and then dessert definitely pecan pie.
Pecan pie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I've got a couple questions we're going to round back to.
All right.
Okay. All right. So this question isn't really all encompassing of what my plate looks like. You're not allowing enough space.
Understood.
So I'm really having to make some deep cuts here that I the cutoff line. There's like 5 of them in there that I don't want to cut. Right?
Yeah.
But turkey for sure, and I think I'm more of. I did not used to be this way until I went with my in-laws. Thanksgiving is deep fried turkey.
Okay.
Yeah. And oven roasted turkey is just amazing to me. But
yeah.
I do like a deep fried turkey.
Yeah.
Sides, man, hands down. I don't even know if this is considered a side.
Today it is chili soup.
Yes, we're not going to get in that conversation.
There's no boundaries here.
All right, deviled eggs.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
I should have gone appetizer.
Well, see, we didn't
Like I
even
said, it's
go.
not quite a side, but
We didn't even go into all that. So go ahead and finish.
so yeah, deviled eggs. There's an endless amount of those I can put away. An unhealthy amount, but and then somewhere this is where the cuts get hard to do.
Okay.
Mom makes a pretty good cream cheese, like corn casserole.
Oh,
with green chilies in it. The sweet potato casserole was tons of different variations of that.
Right.
Green bean casserole.
You're just filling this plate up. You had to pick one.
I gave you a warning, a disclaimer up front of what my plate looks like.
So you said you're using the deviled eggs as a
I have
side.
to. That's my second favorite.
Okay.
But if out of all those, I'm gonna have to go with Mom on the corn.
That corn dish,
because she'd get mad if I didn't say that, and it is good. But my dessert, the pecan pie is good.
Yeah.
But man, nothing like a chocolate pie with whipped cream whatever on top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see that that's assuming we even make it to where you're hungry when the food is ready to go.
That's where you kind of just like
we have
tunnel vision, and you get to that dessert no matter what.
We have so many appetizers and stuff going while the food is cooking. Everyone's nibbling on stuff. By the time the food gets there, I'm not even hungry.
Oh, I know. My plate. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I hadn't even got into Sister Schubert rolls.
Buddy, we could do a whole show just on roll preference. Do you remember the old brown and serve that were just the standard forever?
Absolutely.
I kind of wish those would come back, actually. I mean, I am a Sister Schubert's fan.
Yeah.
But no sponsors.
Cranberry sauce? Anybody? Am I the only one at the table that
No, I'll eat cranberry sauce.
Okay, I know it's a little
can or real.
It doesn't really matter to me.
Either way.
Yeah.
How oven roasted on the turkey or don't care?
Well, we've kind of shifted gears the last several years. We ended up ordering a turkey from out of state, and it's a smoked turkey breast that's already prepared, and we get it every year.
Yeah,
and it's phenomenal. You know, we used to go to Ozark Mountain Smokehouse.
Right, when they were still open.
Yeah.
Last question for you. Turkey in your dressing or no turkey in your dressing?
Like as it's made or after you've got
cooked
everything on your plate?
No, turkey cooked within the dressing.
No. I don't think I've ever had that.
Yes, either way.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah, well, I don't think it would bother me. I just don't.
It's a dilemma at our Thanksgiving.
Dressing.
There's two different ones.
We've had that's a ongoing debate that we have at the house with Star because she loves dressing.
Yeah,
but we go over. Does it need to be cornbread dressing or white bread dressing? Or, you know, you go down the list of all these different things, and there are wrong answers. So,
Ooh, my wife makes macaroni and cheese. Her and my sister-in-law have like a cook-off every year, so I'd have to mention that too.
Yeah, that's actually the first thing you're putting on your plate, isn't it?
So, what about you? Sorry, we always leave you out of your questions.
No, it's all good. I used to be ham. You know, ham used to be my answer.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, y'all know our favorite barbecue spot really turned me around on that deal.
Okay.
And so a couple years ago, I started smoking a turkey breast, and it's not because I cook it, but when it's cooked right, I mean, that can blow ham out of the water, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I would rather have a leftover ham sandwich than a leftover turkey sandwich.
Oh yeah, it reheats much better.
Yeah,
It's like chicken breast just doesn't. It's
Sister
so
Schubert.
lean, with the Sister Schubert.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
My son was the one that changed us on the whole ham turkey debate because he refuses to eat ham at Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Christmas meat.
Yeah.
So we eat turkey at Thanksgiving, and then we eat ham for Christmas.
Here was my problem. The people making the turkey didn't know how to make it. And I was just like, oh, God, I don't want to eat that. It's so dry. I'm going to go with this ham.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what turned me away from turkey. No. No. God rest her soul. She's not. But that's what turned me away from the turkeys, because it's always dry.
Yeah.
My grandmother was a great cook, but the turkey was not what it could have been. So
you got me thinking of that ham and deviled egg simultaneous bite.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Starting to get the meat sweats over here.
Yeah, get the meat sweats.
Calm down.
So, but to answer your question, we're going to do something for my wife's side of the family this year. We're going to do something kind of interesting. My mother-in-law says, I just want turkey. That's the only thing I for sure want. And then she's like, her and I usually do the meal plan. She's like, you do it however you want to do. So here's what I'm going to do. Y'all tell me what you think.
Okay.
Send a text out. This is going to be like I don't think I can say SB. I'll say the big game of Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're following.
Yeah.
Bring a favorite side and a favorite dessert.
Yeah.
And it's all going to be about, it's going to be kind of like party food, like game day food, rather than this traditional sit-down. Because that's what everybody wants. I'm trying to lean into the snack point that you made.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I think that's what people are going to enjoy. So
Absolutely.
instead of having to sit down and make you a full plate, hey, buddy, if you want to go like the Cracker Barrel veggie plate, that kind of thing, let's do it, So anyway, that's what we're going to do.
What about your plate?
Awesome.
It's probably turkey as long as it's cooked right. The side, my mother, speaking of my mother-in-law, she makes a lights out hash brown casserole.
Yeah.
It's cheesy, creamy. It's really good. Dessert wise, pies are a thing at Thanksgiving more than cake.
Right.
So I would say probably pecan pie. Just looking at the table, which is generally pumpkin, pecan, and cherry. I don't know why cherry. Apple maybe.
Yeah.
I'm probably picking pecan.
So do you like your pecan pie with just the pecans on top, or the pecans all the way through the pie?
Just the pecans on top, and then that gel.
That K-Rose syrup, baby.
K-Rose syrup inside.
That's rich stuff, man.
Apparently, with that one, there was a wrong answer. So he's like,
geez, I thought this was a judgment-free zone. We're making our Thanksgiving plates. Boy, was I wrong.
I would expect you to say that.
Mary Louise, he was not going to say mac and cheese. I kicked him under the table and made him. So anyway, no, there we go.
I'm definitely all in on pecan pie by now because, true confession, case in point, this year now, I've already had a sweet potato pie and a pumpkin pie.
I forgot about pumpkin pie, man.
Costco, I have walked by that pumpkin pie, and it's massive for $10.
Huge.
And I keep thinking, why am I not buying this right now?
Sam's?
Yeah.
I bought a pumpkin pie.
Same thing, I think.
Huge.
Yeah.
$5.
Good?
Yeah.
I'm still working on it.
Yeah.
How long have you had it?
I made a now
week.
here's my real answer on the dessert, and we got to get some
Yeah.
news into this show at some point.
I don't want to listen
This
to
is
that. Let's
news.
talk
Come
about
on.
food.
Carrot cake.
Yeah.
I made a carrot cake Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've had a little sliver of that each night. My wife would say it's more than a sliver, but I've had a little bit of that each night this week. And man, that's if there's a cake on there, it's probably carrot cake, and that's what I'm eating.
Last comment here about I'm gonna have to go back on my dessert. It's going to be pumpkin pie with whipped cream on top. I can't believe I forgot about that.
I knew if we talked about it long enough, we'd make him cave and go back.
Yeah.
I regret my decision.
Yeah, I think about it all day. If I didn't say that.
Pumpkin pie is probably one of the simplest desserts you can make, I would argue. Somebody would probably prove me wrong. But when it's done right, man, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very good. Yeah.
Or the pumpkin roll. Very underrated.
Never had a pumpkin roll.
Oh, man. Yeah, the pumpkin roll's good.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be on the lookout for it.
You know the Swiss cake roll? Like,
Yeah.
Imagine that with pumpkin, but it's the size of like a cake. Like it's rolled up with cream inside of it. Anyway,
But that's good.
all right, I'm starving. So let's get this show on the road. Last week, we mentioned that the November WSDA report was being released while we recorded, and we promised to circle back this week. So here we go.
Let's do it.
In this month's report, USDA projects corn yield up over last month's forecast by nearly 2 bushels per acre. The estimate is now 174.9 bushels per acre, which would bring the total production number to just over 15 billion bushels of corn in the U.S. this growing season. My face hurts from laughing. My cheekbones are like sore. That's
through,
great.
man.
I love it. All right, looking at soybeans, we see more numbers that exceed last month's expectations, with yield slated at 1/10 of a point under 50 bushels, sitting at 49.9 bushels per acre average across the U.S. That's 0.3 of a bushel increase over last month. That yield average will bring in just over 4.1 billion bushels, according to USDA. Both crops, soybean and corn, came in above trade expectations. Also, the report also notes that the 23-24 ending corn stocks sit at 2.1 billion bushels, while soybean ending stocks are 245 million bushels. For those looking for wheat numbers, ending stocks in the U.S. there are 684 million bushels. Moving away from the nationwide outlook, a bit of Arkansas harvest news here. Cotton, peanuts, and soybeans all lack about 2% before calling harvest a wrap this year. Winter wheat planting marches on with 87% complete there. We continue to see quality issues in livestock with 50% fair or worse. Pastures are actually 70% fair or worse, and vegetables are 50% fair or worse also. Something to keep an eye on as we as fall and winter continue here, looking at that livestock pasture and
how many
vegetable.
more of these reports do you think we have
for harvest?
Yeah.
Oh, I think our prediction is going to be right on.
Yeah.
I think we're going to finish by Thanksgiving. Everything was 96% and up. 95% and up last week on harvest progress. We're all even at 98% across the 3 crops. Like I said.
Yeah.
This is probably the last one because we're not on the air next
kinda what I
week,
was
so
thinking.
it's probably the last one.
The last one here.
I think you're suggesting that I stop giving them when I hear
No,
that feedback
not
loud and
at
clear.
all. Not at all. I was just curious to, how much longer will they just continue? Because almost to a point when you're getting this close, not much changes there.
Yeah,
Because I was reading it, and the average price per bushel of soybeans hadn't changed from last month.
yeah.
So I was just kind of curious.
Yeah, I
the
think-
expert. You know what I'm saying?
So, well, we could. USDA, I think USDA, from their perspective, they'll continue to put out a weekly report on livestock quality, vegetable quality, winter wheat. There's winter wheat reporting in here, some things like that. I think we'll hold off probably unless there's something substantial that happens with the livestock industry, or really until March. I'm guessing when we see the first planting report.
Yeah, I mean, usually around January. I mean, I think last January we had a lot of cattle information that popped out.
We did, yeah.
It seems kind of like the norm for that time of year, or for the cattle industry as a whole.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right.
Well, let's move on. I haven't talked about specialty crops in a while.
No?
So I wanted to bring attention to the U.S. Department of Agriculture's, or USDA's, recent efforts to help enhance the specialty crop industry in the U.S.
Nice.
Agricultural Deputy Secretary Torres Small announced this month that USDA is initiating a new effort to further support the U.S. specialty crop sector and increase the competitiveness of its products as part of the Biden-Harris administration's efforts to build new, more, and better markets that catalyze opportunity for American farmers. There are several projects within this new effort. This article's, or my kind of write-up here speech is probably going to be a little lengthy.
Okay.
Because they've done a lot with this.
Yeah.
So like I said, there's several projects within this effort, including first a new specialty crops resource directory. The directory is a one-stop shop for the industry and contains a comprehensive snapshot of USDA's resources and services for specialty crop producers and businesses in one convenient location. USDA also plans to engage directly with the specialty crop industry and producers by holding roundtable discussions and other live opportunities for stakeholder feedback on how the department can better address gaps in services and better meet the industry's needs. A formal public comment period has also been opened up for stakeholders to submit comments directly. To submit a comment, you should visit the request for information posted in the Federal Register. Comments are due by March 8th, 2024. So you got a while.
Yeah.
Additionally, USDA will be investing $70.2 million in the Specialty Crop Research Initiative. This initiative is to support 21 research and extension projects that address key challenges of national, regional, and multi-state importance and sustaining all components of food and agriculture, including conventional and organic food production. The grant program will be administered by USDA's National Institute of Food and Agriculture, or NIFA. Projects will be prioritized by how they can improve crop characteristics, manages threats and pests and diseases, improves production efficiency, profitability, and technological innovation, and mitigates food safety hazards. And another project, we're getting down to the end of
we
this.
are, aren't we?
I can feel the heat from your eyes staring at me. Hurry up. Another project that has been implemented and maybe the most interesting for me is the new Regional Agricultural Promotion Program, or RAPP. I guess you could call that RAP.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. $1 million will be set aside to help specialty crop producers to access global markets through targeted technical assistance to overcome onerous trade barriers, which why I say it's interesting because we focus so much on local foods, at least here in Arkansas when it comes to specialty crops. It seems like the USDA is trying to focus also on a aspect of, global markets as well as, talking about exports, specialty crops.
Nice.
So
and just to back up, I think $100 million. I think if I heard you correctly, you said $1 million for that RAP
excuse
program.
me, $100 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
$1 million is a lot to me.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Lastly, there were a few other items in the announcement from USDA, such as the expanded insurance options for specialty crop producers, the 2022 Emergency Relief Program for specialty crop producers impacted by natural disaster events, and the $1 billion invested through the Specialty Crop Block Grant, which of all we've discussed and covered here on the podcast before, so I won't go into a bunch of detail with them. But just lastly, it's great to see the USDA making more of an effort and investing more resources into the sector of agriculture because, honestly, in the past, it hadn't received the attention that I think it deserves. So now I can breathe.
Yeah. Well, this is great. I'm sure something will be a topic in the specialty crop commodity division meetings.
Yeah, and the insurance kind of stuff is something we've been talking about for a few years now too. So
yeah,
and I think that was something we were trying to push in the Farm Bill, which that's also discussion on the table today as well.
Yeah, well, I think also something we reported on last week, the labor issue, which has the an impact on specialty crop producers, sort of how that sort of intertwines with this as well.
Yeah,
would be important there. All right, well, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, let's take a short break and invite you to join the AgCast team at the 89th Annual Arkansas Farm Bureau State Convention.
Mac, I can't wait to see everybody here in Little Rock, November 29th and 30th. In addition to the business sessions, we'll have lots to do, like workshops, Foundation Night In, the Ag Mechanic Show we talked about earlier, and the trade show too.
The trade show might be my favorite part. We're sold out with vendors, and we've added the first ever state convention farmers market, where we'll have nearly 30 vendors of Arkansas-made and Arkansas-grown products. Best part?
Yeah?
It's open to the public for the first time ever.
Oh, wow. Speaking of that farmer's market, I was looking at the list, and I'm totally going to do some Christmas shopping this year.
Oh, yeah. There'll be a lot of great local products on hand. So come check it out. We hope to see you there. Now let's get back to the news.
Let's do it. It's the moment we've all been waiting for.
It is.
Well, maybe. Let's see how much Thanksgiving feast is going to cost you this year. The highly anticipated annual Thanksgiving dinner cost survey from the American Farm Bureau was released today, and we have all the data and numbers for you here on the show. AFBF says that gathering around the table for a Thanksgiving dinner won't take as much of a toll on your pocketbook this year compared to 2022, but the meal still reflects historically high costs. The average cost of this year's classic holiday feast for 10 is $61.17, or less than $6.20 per person. It's not all great news. When you look at the numbers historically, though, this is a 4.5% decrease from last year's record high average of $64.05. But a Thanksgiving meal is still 25% higher than it was in 2019, which highlights the impact of high supply costs and inflation have had on food prices since before the pandemic. The survey says that the centerpiece on most Thanksgiving tables, we all know that's the turkey, we established that earlier, helped bring down the overall cost of dinner. The average price for a 16-pound turkey is $27.35. That's a $1.71 per pound price, down 5.6% from last year. The release also noted that prices of turkeys nationally dropped in the second week of this month, so some folks may even be able to find it a little bit cheaper.
Maybe.
The shopping list for Farm Bureau's informal survey includes turkey, stuffing, sweet potatoes, rolls with butter, peas, cranberries, you can keep the peas, a veggie tray, and pumpkin pie with whipped cream.
There we go.
All in quantities sufficient to serve a family of 10 with plenty of leftovers. My favorite part. Nationally, the biggest decrease in cost came from the whipped cream at 23% cheaper. The biggest increase was the pumpkin pie mix, up nearly 4%. That's going to hit your pocket. Yeah. If you want to know how these numbers stack up against Arkansas shoppers, boy, do we have a treat for you. Like we said, we talked to Tyler Oxner for a deep dive. We're going to have that out next week. He authored a companion report on the Thanksgiving dinner cost with Arkansas exclusive prices. Like I said, be on the lookout for that early next week. And there you go. There's some national numbers for the cost of Thanksgiving dinner.
It might be high, but at least it's showing to go down.
Coming back down. Yeah. That's right.
How far it will go, nobody knows.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, Tyler, I can tell you, I've seen that report that Tyler put together, and it's going to be fun to discuss.
Yeah, y'all gonna do an AdCast on it, right?
We are AdCast deep dive, and since we're off next week, I think we'll end up doing that next week.
That'd be good.
Fill our space.
Well, how about the last story until what? After Thanksgiving?
Yeah, till convention.
Yeah. And now y'all get to listen to me one more time. All right, so speculation as to what's going to happen with a new farm bill has been widespread, to say the least. Although we don't have a new farm bill yet, we did get some promising news going forward.
Yep.
On Tuesday, the GOP-controlled House, with the help of a large portion of Democrats, passed a stopgap government bill that includes a one-year extension of the 2018 Farm Bill. The measure passed easily with a 336 to 95 vote. This includes 209 Democrats and 127 Republicans in support of the measure. According to an article from AgriPulse, it should also pass the Senate fairly easily.
Nice.
The bill will extend funding for some departments and agencies, including USDA, to January 19th at fiscal 2023 levels, and most departments and agencies would be funded until February 2nd. House Agriculture Committee Glenn G.T. Thompson was quoted saying, "This is kind of nice because our members on both sides of the aisle are going to be able to go home and give thanks thanks that we got a farm bill extension. A lot of farm families are going to give thanks that we got a farm bill extension, but there's also the expectation that we're going to keep working on a new farm bill." House GOP leaders believe the laddered continuing resolution, or CR as this article referred it to, will keep pressure on Congress into next year to enact individual appropriations bills rather than passing a massive year-end omnibus bill in December.
Okay.
While Democrats welcome the fact that the CR doesn't force immediate cuts in spending, Johnson insists that the federal debt still must be addressed. A few within the GOP also complained about including the Farm Bill extension, saying that it would delay needed reforms, but the Democrats formally endorsed the CR shortly before the vote. Without a new CR, the government will shut down with the CR that has been funding the government since October 1st, which expires Friday. So this was much needed. The extension of the Farm Bill consists of funding for some programs that expired September 30th, and also includes $37 million for the Foundation for Food and Agricultural Research and $15 million to combat feral swine. So that was on top of their list, too.
Okay.
Yeah. Senate Ag Committee Chairwoman, Debbie Stabenow, Democrat Michigan, told reporters Tuesday she would like to see the bill completed by the summer, but suggested the ongoing uncertainty about the length of the fiscal 2024 appropriations process could affect the schedule. She also commented that farm groups need to convey a sense of urgency to Congress about the Farm Bill. Top Republican on the committee, our very own Arkansas Senator John Bozeman, said the extension provides certainty to farmers and bankers about commodity programs for 2024 crops. He was quoted saying, "I don't think it does anything to diminish us going forward and getting a farm bill done as quickly as possible." So with that, we've got a farm bill extension, not a new farm bill, but we do have one that keeps, and we got funding for the government going forward.
Yeah.
So, like I said, not what we were hoping for. We were kind of hoping this farm bill would already be done, but this works too. And I think Jared hit it right on the head on our deep dive. He said it doesn't really matter when it comes out as much as it does getting it right. And
What's
the farm
in
bill
there? Yep.
that we actually need. So,
well, I'll tell you. Really, there's two big headlines here. Number one, we averted a government shutdown because I think the deadline on that was going to be Friday, the 17th, I believe. And then that farm bill 1 year extension. So it keeps the protections and the policies that are there in place while giving us a little bit of time to focus. I don't know if you've had a chance to see this, but Arkansas Farm Bureau here, we issued a statement in reaction to this extension. It's on our social channels. You can see that in full right now, and you may have already seen that. But I think the significance there that I would add to Senator Stabenow's comments would be we're encouraging that work gets going on this early 2024. That we pick up the the toolbox and get back to work pretty quickly on this. So good news there for our farmers. Certainly a lot of work left to do, but good news for now. So there we go. There's the news for the week. This has been a long show today, but I think there's a lot of good stuff to cover.
Very good. Very good. So you guys don't need anything else then?
Nope, not at all.
We can just pack it up there.
I got a bunch of work to do in the office.
Yeah.
I don't have time to waste.
Wash my hair.
Well, it is time to
Stump the host.
Yes.
I do enjoy that part.
Yeah, it is a good good addition. There.
So I decided to take it a little easy on you this week.
Okay.
So I think these questions are pretty easy.
Thanksgiving themed?
That means they're
Well,
not easy.
Maybe so.
Maybe.
So
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll see.
What 6-letter word names both a seed company and an exercise that combines a squat, a push-up, and a jump in the air?
Burpee.
There you go.
A seed
Burpee.
company.
Yeah.
Really?
Burpee seed.
Never heard of Burpee Seed.
You have now.
I have now.
There you go.
I can't say that anymore. It wouldn't be true.
In bowling, 3 strikes in a row is called
Turkey.
how appropriate.
It's a
right?
little Thanksgiving thing
Gobble,
right
gobble.
there.
See, I told you it might be.
I've never gotten one myself, but I've seen plenty of others do that.
Yes.
I don't know if I've done that before.
Maybe in we.
Yeah,
we
bowl.
bowling. That's
Okay.
timeless.
It's funny.
Bruce Lee was famous in what sport?
Karate.
Kung Fu.
I think he's right.
Close. Do you have another name for it? Because a lot of people think they're the same thing, but it's not.
Jiu-jitsu.
It's not jiu-jitsu.
No.
Man, what is that? I was never active in either of these. I just watched a lot of movies.
It's Kung Fu, but there's a Chinese word for it. That's the technical term, and it's actually not the same as Kung Fu.
Oh, interesting.
As we think.
Uh-huh.
I threw in a little trick question for you
Yeah,
guys.
you did.
Wushu.
Wushu.
I was nowhere close to that.
Wushu. So it's different from Kung Fu.
Indeed.
Yeah, martial arts, man. I'm lost. I am lost as a guy.
So that was
all right.
it's a
Well, hey,
little
those
easier,
are pretty
but,
good.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
a little fun.
I had fun.
I'm going to need to do some burpees after Thanksgiving. I can assure you that.
So we ended in a tie there.
We
I'm
did.
not happy with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you
hey,
go.
how about that?
Yeah.
go.
Congratulations. You're
Well,
just as good as me.
We'll get you on out of here since we have had a long one today. That wraps up the news for this week. Thanks for following along with the Arkansas AgCast. We're grateful for you taking the time to watch and listen.
Remember, you can catch new episodes of the show every Thursday afternoon. Find video episodes on Facebook and YouTube. Listen to the audio versions wherever you listen to podcasts.
And make sure you subscribe and leave us a review when you have a few extra minutes. It really helps. The Arkansas AgCast is brought to you by the Arkansas Farm Bureau. I'm Jason Brown.
I'm John McMinn.
And we'll see you next week.